Just this past week, I read a chapter from a book I'm reading to the senior preaching and worship class called Ministry as a High Calling, Aim Low by Kurt Schuerman. And it's reflections from a parish novice, although he's been in ministry probably 30 years. And the chapter I read them was, don't ever use words you learned in seminary. And he's a rural Methodist pastor in Missouri, and he thinks basically what you do is you set yourself off as special, as different from the people when you use what I would call traditional theological language. So I think that's really dangerous today for lots of reasons, not just setting yourself apart from the people and their everyday language. It's also dangerous because it makes you somehow imagine your most important conversation partners are not your parishioners, not the people in the community where you're serving. So I think my sense is the best strategy is to try as best you can to speak the language of the people that you're serving and to translate difficult concepts and terms, whether they're biblical or theological, into understandable frames for those people. That's part of your job, I think, as a teacher and preacher in place, is to be a teacher that makes these important concepts accessible. So we have lots of examples of that, starting with Jesus telling these wonderful earthy agricultural parables and party stories in order to make the case. So I really encourage people to think, well, how do people speak here? Eugene Peterson is a great example of this, trying to translate the whole scripture into a contemporary idiom that's very faithful and sometimes painfully faithful to what the scripture is saying, but in a way that doesn't carry with it unfamiliar patterns of speech. So it really, catches you in your gut and doesn't just bounce off your mind as, wow, I don't get that.